So basically, we can't do anything? Even with the time leap machine, we can't stop CERN from killing Mayuri 5 hours from now? At that moment, I hear a sound from outside the window. Oh, that sounds like... How's it going, everybody? HoodlaMutt back with some more Steins Gate. And last time, we kept failing to save Mayuri. Okabe was unsuccessful over and over and over again. Until he finally got to the point that he held Moeka at gunpoint. He was able to trick her and get her to spill some information, but it didn't really matter because there's just CERN is just everywhere right now. So after becoming distraught, Kiritsu ended up following him and realizing that he probably used the phone wave because, or the time leap machine, I guess is as it's called now, to put his memories back in time. And so we went back once more after not knowing what to do, and we're going to try to get her help and probably other people's help. So now we just have to explain the whole situation to her, and she gave us a code word, something about a fork. I can't remember exactly. So anyway, let's get right into this episode, shall we? I lie back on the sofa with my phone in my hand. Needles in my brain. A whining in my ears. These sensations never get any easier to endure. I look at the clock. It's about 1:45. There's a high school baseball game on TV. In about 15 minutes, Kiritsu will finish the time leap machine. All it needs are some final adjustments, so there's nothing for me to do but wait. As the pain in my brain subsides, I realize that my head is throbbing. Why? Oh, I remember. Right before this, I had an argument with Mr. Braun in which he introduced his fist to my skull. Oh yeah. Mayuri is at her sewing machine, working on her costume. Daru is at his computer, collecting moe artwork from the internet. Kiritsu is in the development room, upgrading the time leap machine. I sit, motionless, as the minutes tick by. Suddenly, the sounds of the sewing machine stops.
Karin! Karin! Can you come here?
Mayuri shows me her costume.
Can you hold this for me? Spread it out like flap.
Mayushi, say flop again. Oh, okay, so this is this part, okay.
Flap!
I got a flop.
Stop it, perv.
I follow Mayuri's directions and spread the costume out by the sleeves.
Okay, thanks.
Mayuri looks a little tired. She was working on this costume all night. But then she smiles, brighter than the sun.
All done.
I said something here, didn't I? What was it? I can't remember.
I finished before Chris-chan. We were racing.
You win, Mayuri. Congratulations.
But I'm finished too.
Okay. Kiritsu finishes connecting the two cords she's holding.
Complete.
Alright, that's my cue. We're not experimenting. That's a little flat.
Huh?
Crap. Was that too soon?
I just finished and you're already shutting it down? What have I been doing these past 3 days?
Time leaping presents a host of problems. I want to consider them all carefully.
Huh?
That's an unusually respectable opinion, coming from you.
Problems? I thought it was done.
I'll explain later. Everyone's tired, so let's just go home. We're not going to have a party to celebrate? We'll do that another day. I managed to convince Daru and Mayuri to leave. I lend Mayuri my phone charger, since we use the same brand of phone. Okay, that's good. Kuretsu tries to go home too, but I quietly keep her back. Alright, moment of truth.
What?
Are you upset?
Yeah?
Probably because I shot her down right after she finished the time leap machine. She'll feel relieved later, but only after she has time to fully consider its implications. I came from 5 hours in the future. Kuretsu spears me with a piercing glare.
Is that supposed to be funny?
Her narrowed eyes make me believe that looks can kill.
Don't glare like that! This isn't right! You're supposed to believe me!
Yeah, just like that, right?
What made you think I'd believe something like that? You told me so! 5 hours from now, okay? Don't be ridiculous. I would never make such a baseless projection.
I'd like to have a word with future Kuretsu. If this is how you're going to be, then you leave me no choice but to quote you word for word. When I told you about my time leap, you said, I took it as proof that my theories were right. I didn't doubt it was true for a second. Don't forget, it was my mad skills that turned the phone wave into a time leap machine.
I don't talk like that!
What you want most right now is your own fork.
What?
Kuretsu's face suddenly turns red. You already have your own spoon, apparently.
She said that? I'm going to kill myself 5 hours from now.
She appears genuinely shocked, for some reason, but I'm pretty sure she believes me now.
It feels like someone peeked into my heart. And that someone is Okabe, of all people.
What does she think I'm going to do?
But I think I believe you. Tell me the details.
Okay. I explain everything to Kuretsu again. I'm able to organize my thoughts better since this is my second time.
I see. If what you say is true, then we have a serious problem.
There are 5 hours until Mayuri's death. We need to come up with a plan before then.
Future me said that the chronology protection conjecture holds, but I don't think that's quite right. That conjecture says that, according to quantum theory, time travel is impossible due to the danger of disrupting casualty. But when you time leap, there's no chance of a time paradox occurring.
2 of me don't exist at the same time, and I can't bring anything with me to the past. All that changes are the memories stored in my temporal lobe. So at the very least, time leaping can't cause a grandfather paradox. But I mean, if we do the world line thing, the world line interpretation means that none of that even matters, right? So I was right. The universe itself is censoring me, correcting any changes I try to make.
If that's true, then time leaping can't save Mayuri. Nothing you do will change the result.
I don't know if that's true, though, because, everything that's been killing her has been connected to CERN, except for Nay, but I still feel like there's something, involved, somehow she... I don't know if they told her, or they... I don't know. I just have a feeling that this is all connected to CERN, so I don't think that this is a universe is trying to hurt me, or God is saying, no, it must be. Like, I don't think that's what we're dealing with here.
I can't accept that. Neither can I. The world is trying to kill Mayeri? As a scientist, I refuse to believe such nonsense.
What about the many worlds interpretation? I just need to observe the world where Mayuri doesn't die.
The many worlds interpretation. That might have something to do with how Mayuri's means of death keeps changing. But it's supposed to be impossible for parallel worlds to observe each other. Why are you different?
Exactly. Because of my Esper power reading Steiner.
This is no time for your Chinibyo nonsense.
There's no other explanation.
You mentioned that reading Steiner thing before. Were you actually serious?
You just are now. I feel like we were pretty believable back then, but, okay. Why would I make up something like that? Our D-mail experiments prove that I can somehow perceive changes in the timeline when they occur. It's an ability only I seem to possess.
I don't know, but I don't want to rely on something that may not even exist. Anyway, you can't control which possibilities you observe. Even if the many worlds interpretation holds true, it's unreasonable to expect that you'll ever find a world where Mayuri doesn't die.
Wait, we're not getting anywhere. Instead of analyzing what I've done, let's think about what we can do.
Time leaping won't change the result. I just said that.
Then what do we do?
Calm down.
How can I calm down? Do you know how many times I've seen Mayuri die? Covered in blood, gasping for breath, the light fading from her eyes, again and again and again. And all I could do was watch. I hear my teeth grinding in my skull, recalling that despair. That feeling of utter powerlessness makes me want to lash out at everything within reach.
Getting emotional won't solve anything.
You're only calm because you weren't there.
True. I don't know what happens 5 hours from now. To be honest, it doesn't feel real at all. But it's not like I don't believe you. You have to stay strong, Okabe.
Keiretsu pats my arm. Her hand is warm and her touch is gentle. How American of her. Wait a minute. Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on, Okabe. Wait a minute. Hold up, brother. You can't say that the police just shoot people on sight without provocation in America, but then say that we're very gentle and touchy and all that. The touchy part makes sense, but come on, bro. Excuse me. You can pick one. Pick one. What the heck?
Sorry.
She's right. Getting emotional won't solve anything. I need to calm down. Calm down. What I don't understand is how the cause can change, but the effect can stay the same. It's like Casualty itself is broken.
Maybe Kiryu Moeka shooting her isn't the real cause of her death. Maybe it's something larger and less obvious. For example, maybe she dies because we invented a time machine, or because CERN discovered our hacking. If that's the cause, then it doesn't really matter how she dies. Casualty remains intact.
Oh, well, that sucks. I mean, if that was like the butterfly effect, if that was the butterfly that made that happen, that's really unfortunate. Can that theory explain why Nate pushed her in front of a train?
Oh, right.
Again, I feel like she's somehow CERN told her to do that, but...
Anyway, the principle of casualty is absolute. Deny that, and you deny all of physics. There must be a distinct cause for Mayeti's death. So if we figure out what it is, then maybe we can save her. Not necessarily. What do you mean? The problem is when the causal event occurred. If it happened too far in the past, then there's nothing we can do. But I can travel to any time I had a cell phone, can't I? No. It's still theoretical, but I believe that one leap with our machine has a maximum range of 48 hours.
Wait, what? Why?
48 hours? I can only go back 2 days? Why didn't you tell me that before? Before what? I just finished the time leap machine, remember?
That's true. So maybe she doesn't really know, right?
Future you didn't say anything about it either. Oh, so that's what you mean. Maybe she just didn't have the chance. So how come I can only leap 48 hours? I don't know. Even I don't understand everything that's going on inside that thing. But you can do consecutive leaps. That is, as long as the time leap machine exists. For example, if the time leap machine remains functional for 10 straight years, you could leap back to this moment 10 years from now. But it does... well, wait a minute. Because it doesn't matter where the machine is in time, right? It just matters if we have our phone, and then we can send the information to the phone, we pick it up, and then the memories get put into our brain, right? Isn't that what we've been told? Am I missing something? It shouldn't matter whether or not the machine exists. Heck, we could have invented the machine when we were freaking 90 years old, and so long as we knew the phone number that we had when we were however old, and we knew that we had it on ourselves, and wouldn't, put the memories into someone else's brain, then it should work. At least that makes sense. I don't know. Of course, it would take a total of 1,825 leaps, so I don't recommend it. Still, it's theoretically possible. Then what's the problem? Weren't you listening? I said as long as the time leap machine exists. When was the machine completed? Exactly. An hour ago. August 13th, 2010. 2 o'clock p.m. or thereabouts. It didn't exist before then. So what? But it still shouldn't matter, I feel like, because we're sending data. We're not doing anything with the machine. It's impossible to use the machine before 2 p.m. today. To use the machine, but not to to put information somewhere else, right? I mean, so why do we care about when we can use it? All we have to do is just send memories far enough back that we can stop this stuff from happening, I feel like. Like, stop ourselves from creating the time machine, right? Isn't that... Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. So what you're saying is... count 48 hours back. I can't go back farther than 2 p.m. on the 11th? Kuretsu nods, her expression grave. Most likely. Can't you improve it? Eventually, maybe, but certainly not now. I'd need a real laboratory with real equipment. It would be expensive, which means we'd need sponsors. And if we go looking, I'm pretty sure CERN would crush us. I'd say that's proven by the fact that neither you nor I have leapt here from the far future yet. So basically, we can't do anything? Even with the time leap machine, we can't stop CERN from killing Mayuri 5 hours from now? At that moment, I hear a sound from outside the window. Oh, that sounds like Suzuha's bike. What? Is it Moeka? Did she overhear us? I dash to the window and look down at the street. I had a feeling. It's Suzuha. Her bicycle has fallen over, and she's scurrying to pick it up. Our eyes meet. Huh? Why does she look so pale? Her lips move slightly. She must have been eavesdropping. I still don't understand why we can't send information back. I must have missed something. I don't know. It looks like she's whispering something, but I can't make it out from here. Hey! I call out to Suzuha, but she leaps on her bike and zips away. She's acting strange. I smell a conspiracy. Moeka was a spy. Could Suzuha be the same? Well, she wouldn't have saved you 5 hours from now, so I mean, you should know that she's at least on your side. It's too dangerous to trust anyone. Suzuha has exhibited suspicious behavior, though not as much as Moeka has. She's openly hostile towards Kiritsu, and she was able to take down CERN's hit squad single-handedly. I wonder if this missing father of hers really exists. Could he be the John Titor who's been posting on the internet? What is the meaning of the name Beryl Titor? Instinct tells me that she knows something. I dash out of the lab. Hey! Where are you going? I know I don't have much chance of catching her on foot, but I have to try. There's something going on here. This is a completely new sequence of events. According to my memories of the future, Suzuha is supposed to remain at the Braun Tube workshop until 6:30 this evening. So maybe wherever she's from, she had to wait until we got to the point that we were trying to figure out how to stop this or something. So she must have been keeping in the other, world lines or whatever, the other times. She must have been trying to lay low until we knew enough, is my guess, or something. But when she overheard me talking to Kiritsu, she suddenly took off like a bat out of hell. This has to mean something. Suzuha's already out of sight, but when she left, she was heading for Chuo-dori. I wonder if her phone's on. Maybe I should just try calling her. Come to think of it, this reminds me of something. On the day she failed to meet her father, she disappeared without a word. Just an email saying bye. I searched the town, but I couldn't find her, so I sent a D-mail that changed the past in order to make her stay. I'm pretty sure I lost her near the station back then. What happened on that timeline? Where did Suzuha go after failing to find her father? I search up and down Chuo-dori, but find no trace of Suzuha or her bike. I have to be careful. There could already be rounders here in Akaba. I comb the area around the station's main exit, but there's no sign of her anywhere. I lost sight of her here before, so I thought she might be close by. Maybe I should corner her on my next time leap, press her for answers before she can escape. I'd better get back to the lab. I start walking away from the station, but just then, the people around me gasp and point. Everyone's looking up at the sky. No, not the sky. The satellite! The satellite embedded in the roof of Radicon. Why now? It's been there for 2 weeks. It's practically a landmark now. But everyone looks like they're seeing it for the first time. Remember, it disappeared too. Where did Suzuha go? Oh, where would she have gone? I'm trying to think, because I can't remember if it was when Lukaku got changed or if it was when Faris changed things, but remember we got those messages from Mayeri and Daru that said like, whoa, the satellite's gone. It's gotta be Suzuha. That's her time machine. Oh no. So I turn and look up too. Whoa. The lights on the satellite are blinking. Is someone inside? Who? Suzuha? Or could it be Moeka? The satellite has remained silent through all of my previous time leaps. What has changed? Obviously, the fact that Suzuha overheard my conversation with Kiritsu. Previously, I lost sight of her at the station. In other words, right next to Radicon. Suzuha must be up there. Everyone's staring at the satellite. This is my chance to sneak in without being noticed. The shutters are half open, just as they were when I confronted Moeka. I summon my courage and crawl through the crack. When I get inside, the first thing I see is Suzuha's bike lying on the floor. It is her, yup. So it is her! What is she trying to do? What is that satellite? How is it related to John Titor? Is it even a satellite? Nobody knows for sure. I checked online. No satellites fell out of orbit that day. When they do, whether by accident or by design, they usually burn up in the atmosphere. It's impossible for one to land in such perfect condition. So what is it then? A jolt suddenly runs through my body. Could it be a time machine? Of course it is, yeah. There's only one way to know for sure. I need to get there before Suzuha does something. The elevator and escalator aren't operating, so I bound up the stairs 2 at a time. My lungs gasp and my legs burn, but I force my body to carry me to the top. There's the satellite lodged in Radicon's roof. I notice wires holding it in place. The police must have done that so it wouldn't fall. There's a hatch open on the side of the machine. I see someone moving inside. Suzuha! The person freezes when I shout. I run to the satellite. Oh, shoot. Okabe Rentaro. Suzuha turns to me with a sad expression. Behind her, I can see the interior of the satellite. It's surprisingly simple, without the switches and buttons you'd expect. Instead, there's a black box the size of a desktop PC. There are numbers on the screen. 2010, 08, 13, and below that, 1975, 08, 13. What? 75? What happened in 75? I don't remember. I feel like I remember that being an important number, though. Uh-oh. Suzuha reaches out to press a button. Ow! Sparks burst from the panel. She jerks back. Her fingertips burned. What are you doing? It's not working. You know how to use that thing? She doesn't reply. I see her shoulders sag. It's not working. Those sparks had to be from an electrical short. My eyes are burning from the smoke. Answer me, Amane Suzuha. I swallow hard, then ask the question. This is a time machine, isn't it? Are you a time traveler? With her head hung low, Suzuha nods. I told you, baby! I freaking told you! Where's my money? Where's my bet money? Alright, I want to see it. Give it to me now. I freaking told you, she's from the future, although that said 75, so maybe she's from the past. That makes no sense. But, she must have went there and then came here. I don't know. But she's from the future, I can guarantee that. She's gotta be. I'm John Titor.
Oh! What? Oh! Yo! What do you mean? Oh, crap. Oh! Oh, my brain never even thought John Turner might not be a he. Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh, no way! Oh, frick! No way!
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm trying to think back of all the times we tried to talk to Titor. That means that she called us the Messiah. And that's how she would have known what Titor was saying to us, because... Oh, it all makes sense now. Oh, come on, dude. Oh, man, I have so many more questions now. There's still a big crowd outside, so we exit the building on the side facing away from the station. Suzuha has calmed down a bit, so I start pressing her for answers. What do you mean you're John Titor?
Exactly what it sounds like. I'm the John Titor who's been posting on @channel.
I thought he was a guy. Suzuha smiles humorlessly.
I fooled you? Guess my camouflage worked then.
Who are you hiding from?
CERN.
Heck yeah. Those stories you posted, were they...
True. Mostly. A few exceptions.
It's those exceptions that bother me. So you came from 2036, and that satellite, that's your time machine.
I was hoping you wouldn't find out, but my time machine went and broke on me. I really screwed up, huh?
I thought Titor's time machine was loaded on a Chevy.
Chevy? That's a car, right? Where'd you hear that?
Oh, what? The Titor in 2000 said so.
2000?
Okay, so those are two different John Titors, maybe?
That might be me on a different world line.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense too.
At least, I haven't been to 2000. I came straight here from 2036.
So it was someone else? It's true that Titor never posted in 2000. Not on the current world line. It doesn't matter. I can worry about that later. What do you know? I press Suzuha for answers, trapping her between me and the wall so she can't escape. You overheard my conversation with Kuretsu, right? Why did you run to the time machine? What were you trying to do?
I thought it was my fault.
What?
Because I neglected my mission. CERN was able to put their plan in motion. Is it true?
Suzuha suddenly grabs my shoulders.
Is it true that CERN kills Shina Meyeri?
It's true. I time leaped from 5 hours in the future.
Time leaped. So you guys completed your time machine.
I need answers. What do you mean it's your fault? Suzuha bites her lip and looks away.
I'll tell you everything. I think you need to know. You and Makase Kiritsu.
Kuretsu? Uh-oh. Why Kuretsu? I guess I'll find out if I let Suzuha talk. we should head back to the lab. But first, I offer Suzuha my handkerchief. She looks at me for a second, then takes it and ties it around her burnt hand. Oh, that was nice.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh, dude. She should probably see a doctor about her hand, but there's no time for that. Mayuri's death is approaching. I just hope she's not in too much pain. I wrap a towel around her hand to keep people around us from staring. So this is okay, so she's an actual time traveler. She physically time traveled. We are also a form of time travel, but we're only able to go back apparently 2 days. Hopefully when I look back at the footage that'll make more sense, but I have no clue why that's the case currently. But we're dealing with like multiple versions of time travel, and it's so crazy interesting. Man, this is weird.
Welcome back, Okarin. Oh, Suzu-san is with you too.
When we get to the lab, Mayuri and Daru are there for some reason. I thought I sent them home. Mayuri gives me a ditzy answer when I ask them.
I really thought we should celebrate the birth of Super Phone Wave-chan. So Daru-kun and I went shopping.
I should have known she wouldn't stay away. Kuretsu looks as worried as I am. She leans close and whispers into my ear.
What do we do?
Make absolutely sure Mayuri doesn't find out. Kuretsu nods slightly. I mean, but wouldn't it be good to know? You haven't actually told her yet. You haven't told her that she's gonna die. Maybe that would help change things. I don't know. What are you guys whispering about? How many times do I have to say it? No party!
Come on, Okarin. That's no fun.
It's not about fun. I glance at Suzuha. She still looks depressed.
Suzu-san, are you feeling okay?
Suzuha, Christina, and I have important matters to discuss. That's why I asked you to leave for the day.
Mayushi wants to hear too.
I think he's serious.
But Suzu-san looks sad. Mayushi's worried. Oh. Sorry.
Suzuha hangs her head and bites her lip. I know she feels responsible for Mayuri's death. But how is she related? That's what I'm here to find out.
I want Shina Mayuri and Hashira Itaru to stay. This concerns them too.
If Suzuha says so, then I have no objections. But I quietly pull her aside and remind her not to tell them about Mayuri's impending death. Then I quickly explain Suzuha's true identity, that she posted on @channel as John Titor, that the satellite is really a time machine, that she came from the year 2036. A girl from the future? That's awesome! Can I shake your hand? We're not playing around here, Daru.
What year were you born? 2017. That's in 7 years. You haven't been born yet, but you're here. Huh?
There's no time to deal with Mayuri's confusion. Alright, Suzuha. Let's hear it.
Well, the gist is what I posted on @channel. I came from the future, the year 2036. In my time, the world is a dystopia ruled by CERN. There's no war, no conflict, but no freedom either. Dystopia? A society where every activity is controlled by the government. In a dystopia, you're not allowed to eat bananas unless today is banana eating day. If you break that rule, they throw you in jail without a trial. That's terrible! Mayushi loves bananas.
Oh, what a way to talk to her.
Forget about the bananas.
I'm part of the resistance fighting to free humanity from CERN's control.
Heck yeah, you are. I knew you were an agent, dude. I freaking knew it, dude. I called that crap. Ugh.
I came to the past to change my present. From your point of view, I guess I should say the future. To change the future.
Change the future. She doesn't sound like she's joking.
What about finding your father? Was that a lie?
Suzuha doesn't answer. Oh, she's trying to find her dad before he had her, right? That's what that would mean. But why? He must be important.
Interesting. Does that mean it was a lie?
CERN is a research institution. They don't have political power. I explained that to John Titor several times online.
Online? Wait, don't tell me. You're Kiri Gohan and Kamehameha?
Yeah, I wondered if that was the case. Oh, dude, it's making sense now. Ah! Oh, I knew it because I'm like, that's the only name that stands out. Everyone else is like anonymous. There's something else. But that was the one that stood out. Oh my gosh. Kuretsu turns red and looks away. Oh my gosh.
Titor came forward, so it's only fair that I do too.
In that case, I'll come clean too. I was posting under my true name, Haowen Q.
I know. Ah, you harmonized.
Suzuha frowns. She must not like having anything in common with Kuretsu. She clears her throat and continues.
CERN is still a research institution in 2036. The world is actually ruled by CERN's secret backers, the Committee of 300.
The Committee of 300? They're real?
That name was in CERN's top secret documents. I mean, it would make sense if they're in top secret documents that they'd be real, right?
When CERN successfully completed their time machine, they became the sole entity with power over the fourth dimension, time. In just 2 years, they remade the world to serve their purpose.
Just 2 years. But that's only an objective time. I bet CERN's time travelers spent many decades leaping back and forth across history, building the foundation of CERN's rule.
That brings us to you, Makase Kuretsu.
Suzuha glares at Kuretsu.
In 2036, you're apothecized as the mother of the time machine.
Apothecized? In Japanese, please.
Apothecized, as in revered, respected.
She keeps using unusual vocabulary. Or maybe that's normal vocabulary in 2036.
Respected? Huh? I am? In 2010, You pioneer time leap technology. Afterwards, you contribute to the development of CERN's time machine. That's what I know about Makase Kiritsu.
Is that why she treats Kiritsu like an enemy? Then I must be the father of the time machine, right?
Okabe Rintaro is a terrorist in 2036. You're pretty infamous.
Oh my gosh. He actually became Hao and Kyoma. He became infamous, causing chaos. This is so crazy. What? Seriously? I'm a terrorist in the future?
I helped CERN build their time machine? I don't believe it. CERN experiments on people against their will. They're a disgrace to scientists everywhere. I would never collaborate with them. But that's how it is in the future. How did the future me explain herself? We've never met. By 2036, you're already dead. Sorry. Well, that's just great. I don't even make it to 50? In my time, there are two kinds of people. Those who live extremely long lives, and those who die young, under suspicious circumstances. People who act against CERN are erased. They erased me?
Maybe that's why we found her body, 'cause they sent her back there. And maybe they sent her back there so that we would see it and they'd frame us for it, because they know that we're a terrorist. I'm assuming we're a terrorist by name, but not by nature, right? Like, because like, okay, Americans would have been considered terrorists, right? They would have been treason. Well, I don't know if terrorist is the right word, but they would have been, traitors, treasonous to Britain, right? Back before America gained its independence. So had America lost, Americans would have been considered to this day as the traitors that went against the British flag and all of that, right? Against King George. So, like, I wonder if we're not actually a terrorist in actuality, but we're part of the resistance. Like, we're trying to stop this from happening. So maybe Okabe actually sent Suzuha back here to help himself or something. And then when Kiritsu tried to stop it, they silenced her, and they've been looking for Okabe, who's considered a terrorist, but it's really just part of the resistance trying to stop the main source of power in the world of that day or something. That's just what I'm thinking. Suzuha looks into Kiritsu's eyes. For once, she's not glaring at Kiritsu.
Maybe you were being used by CERN too. Maybe they took your parents hostage and forced you to work on their time machine.
Well, we know that they tried to do that now, in 5 hours from now, or however close it is. No!
No. Does that mean Mama's in danger?
Kiritsu's mother is in America. It's not terribly difficult to imagine CERN kidnapping her while Kiritsu is away. After all, I watched Moeka kill Meieri in cold blood. Rounders. What's that? CERN's private army, or something like that. Suzuha nods.
On paper, they're an independent technology research firm. In reality, they do the dirty work for CERN all over the world.
That must be why CERN exists now. That makes sense, because remember he said that they knew about CERN and stuff, and what I think they knew about CERN stuff, but if CERN had gone back in time to establish a foundation to be able to rule as they do in 2036, that would make sense. Oh my gosh. Yo. According to Moeka, They have two chief duties. First, to acquire IBM 5100s, the only computers that can access CERN's secret database. Second, to find promising scientists in the field of time travel and force them to cooperate with CERN, or eliminate them if they will not.
So they already exist. I thought they might. In my time, they're our number one enemy.
Dirty work? Does that mean, like, kidnappings and assassinations? Suzuha looks at me with a question in her eyes. I shake my head.
In my time, yes. But I don't think they've reached that level in this time yet.
Daru is visibly relieved.
Amane-san, you said that most of what you posted as John Titor was true, right? Right. Does that mean you know how the universe works? You claimed that the Everett Wheeler model, the many worlds interpretation, is correct.
Oh, that's right. So she would know better, right?
That was a lie. Camouflage so that CERN wouldn't target me.
Oh, never mind then. Freaking everything. Everything I know to be true just gone. Out the window, doesn't make sense. What the crap?
If I mix one lie into the truth, then the bad apple spoils the barrel. So you don't know? I do. By 2036, scientists have successfully modeled the structure of the universe. And it's not the many worlds interpretation. Really? Tell me!
Attractor fields.
Right. I told you by mail, didn't I? What sort of model is that? The universe is made up of world lines and attractor fields.
Suzuha walks over to Mayuri's sewing table and picks up a ball of red yarn. I'm clicking too fast because I'm excited. She holds one end of the yarn and drops the ball to the floor, then holds about a meter of yarn in front of her face.
The universe is like this piece of yarn. Countless possible world lines exist side by side, branching out to infinity. From a distance, it looks like a single string, but when you look closer, the string is actually made up of individual threads woven together. At the end, those threads converge on a single point. The paths are different, but the destination is the same.
Oh. So everything ends the same way. Oh my gosh. So does that mean Mayuri can't be saved then? Because everything has the same conclusion? That you can't really change... I mean, but she came back to change time, so it would make sense that you can change time, right? I don't know. Okay, wait, it would make sense that you could change elements before getting to the ultimate destination, though, right? I mean, that would make sense.
Isn't that determinism? Close. This model is a little looser. You could say it cherry picks from the many worlds interpretation and the Copenhagen interpretation.
If the branches all lead to the same place, does that mean that there's only one world in the end?
Exactly.
Oh.
The bundle of world lines that share a point of convergence is called an attractor field. There are also many attractor fields. This string is attractor field alpha. The threads are alpha world lines.
Suzuha then cuts meter lengths of blue, yellow, and white yarn.
Blue is beta, yellow is gamma, and white is delta. Each is made up of countless beta world lines, gamma world lines, and delta world lines. She twists the different colored strings together, then stretches them out as one fat multicolored string. Attractor fields are superpositioned like this. In each attractor field, the world lines converge on a different result. They don't interact. Each attractor field is independent of the others. Of course, they all diverge from a common point somewhere in the past, and they will all converge again at some point in the future. But that takes many hundreds of years. You can think of the attractor fields as very long world lines.
Okay. So you can kind of change stuff, but they still all have the same end, is what she's saying. Can you... Can you compare it to an eroge? Teach me, O erotic one.
What, Daru... Moron. There's no erotic one here.
No, he's right. It is like an eroge. Each heroine's route is an attractor field, and the small choices within are the individual world lines. But at the end, they all enter the true route for the grand ending. The only difference is the length of the common parts. By the way, I'd choose the little sister's attractor field. Dude, you're so gross. Get the heck out of it. Can we just, not include him anymore? Please? Oops. Whatever.
You guys are hopeless. Better do something quick. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's better you don't.
Just ignore them.
Yeah, seriously. Let me get this straight. The reason I can't save Mayeri is that her death is the event upon which this attractor field converges? Yo, dude! No! That sucks! Don't say that! But that means the world really is killing Mayeri. But then, isn't it impossible to change the future? It always converges in the end, right? No matter what you do, the result is the same. That's right. That's why Mayeri dies no matter how many times I leap.
We have to escape attractor field alpha.
Escape it? Escape?
In other words, we're going to jump to a world line in attractor field beta. I thought attractor fields couldn't interact. Attractor fields are normally separate, but if we go to the instant they diverge... The instant they diverge? Is that now? I was taught that a major divergence occurs in 2010. This year, an earth-shattering event causes divergence at the attractor field level. The last time such a divergence occurred was in the year 2000, and before that, in 1991.
It's gotta be because we do stuff to try and save Mayeri. That's why it diverges so different. Like that's probably why there's so many different divergencies or whatever, right? Because we just over and over kept time leaping and time leaping and time leaping, right? We've got to be the cause of that, right? I think that makes sense.
What happened in those years? Events that changed the face of the world.
Huh? So then does that mean that CERN goes to each of those times where the attractor fields converge like that so that they can make the future that they want? Is that why they showed up here at this particular time? To make sure that Mayeri dies or something? I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around it. 1991 was the collapse of the Soviet Union, right? But what happened in 2000?
2001 had the 9/11 attacks. The year 2000 problem.
Oh, Y2K.
Y2K? But that was just hype. Nothing happened. That's because the Alpha world line we're on represents a world where Y2K didn't occur.
Oh my gosh.
So in other words, there are worlds where it did occur? And that brings us to 2010. Did something big happen this year?
Oh no.
What else could it be?
Suzuha looks towards the development room.
But the creation of humanity's first time machine. Oh, no, that would make more sense.
Oh yeah! Wow!
I still wonder if it's actually Mayuri though, dying or something like how Okabe's saying. Makes more sense that it's the time machine though.
One more question.
Kuretsu keeps plowing ahead. I guess that's what makes her a scientist.
These world lines aren't parallel worlds, are they? No. Ultimately, they're just possibilities that exist simultaneously. Then how do you observe the difference between world lines? Wouldn't you need a God's eye view to do that? Normally. However...
Suzuha looks at me. Don't tell me! Oh. Reading Steiner?
Is that what you call it? Okabe Rentaro, you have the power to observe changes across world lines, correct?
Yeah.
That's the key. Your power is the key to freeing the world from CERN's rule.
Oh.
You have the power of a god.
That's why she called us Messiah. So it was more... I mean, technically she's using it in a literal term, but it's more metaphoric because we're saving the world because we have the ability to see what other people can't.
My power. If you escape attractor field alpha and reach a beta world line, then the result will change.
I feel a shiver of excitement. We don't want to go to no friggin' beta attractor. We're friggin' Chads, bro. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
So there's hope? I can save Mayuri?
Suzuha nods firmly.
Then I must do it. I have no choice. Wait a second.
Kuretsu, however, is not so enthusiastic.
How do we know that this is all true? What if Amane-san is just making stuff up? What? I'm not making stuff up! Calm down. I'm not trying to pick a fight. But I still have questions. 1. How do you know about Okabe's power?
'Cause we told her.
2. How did you know Okabe and I were in Akehibara in 2010?
'Cause history would tell you, right? I mean, that's obvious.
Don't you know a little too much for someone born in 2017?
Oh, she didn't say yet. I forgot. Well, no, because didn't we just say that we told everybody that she had a time machine and all that bullcrap? She's from 36, whatever. No, she doesn't have a point. No, don't say that. Because she would know the future, or she knows what's in the future. She knows the past, because it would be history for her. This is history, so she knows that we're gonna be. Well, she might not know exactly when we are. That makes sense. That part makes sense. That we would be exactly here together at the same time in 2010. That part makes sense. But everything else, I mean, if they wrote down stuff like, hey, yeah, this happened, but I don't know. All right, fair enough. I'll give him that. Everyone looks to Suzuha.
It was written in Dad's will.
His will?
What do you mean?
His will was what made me decide to time travel. My dad was one of the founding members of the Resistance. He hid from CERN and researched time travel on his own.
Okay.
He wanted to change the future. But CERN killed him. That's why I'm here. To fulfill his dream.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That would make sense why she hates CERN and kind of Kuretsu so much. Suzuha doesn't look at Kuretsu. She still seems to have a grudge against her. Yeah. Kuretsu would never actively cooperate with CERN. I know that, but I just can't say it in front of Suzuha. For some reason, Suzuha really does see Kuretsu as responsible for the problems of the future. But if that's the case, why doesn't Suzuha just kill Kuretsu? Wouldn't that change the future too? I mean, not if we're talking all these different, what are kind of sort of world lines, right? Because in a different attractor field or whatever, she still lives, right? So it doesn't matter what happens on this one, does it? I don't know, I'm so confused. Maybe she can't. World lines converge. Yeah, exactly. No matter how hard I struggle, Mayuri dies. Similarly, it may be impossible for Suzuha to kill Kuretsu, no matter how much she may want to. Suzuha clears her throat as if to change the subject. It's a good point.
Akihibara, 2010. The time machine created here accelerates CERN's own time machine research. We have to stop that from happening in order to guide history in a new direction.
Stop it? How? But if it still happens on another world line, does it matter? I don't know. It makes it seem like nothing really matters, no matter what you do, but it kind of does. Like the outcomes in the middle of the string could be completely different, but the two ends end up exactly the same, which technically makes sense. If everything has, like, for instance, if you say, like, from a Christian viewpoint, like where I come from, it's like eventually the world will get resolved where, you know, Christ comes back, and all of the people that didn't believe in him are forced to have to go to hell, and the people that did believe in him get to go and be in heaven with him for all of eternity, right? And that's kind of the end of time that we as Christians know. It's like we don't know what happens after that. It's like I don't know if there will be a concept of time. I don't know of anything else, but that's what the whole book of Revelation talks about. It's like giving foreshadow of what's to come and how bad things will get before that and how things will happen and all that type of stuff while still kind of being vague about it, right? So in that case, everything, if you take that as an example, then everything, even if you change stuff in the middle, go back in history, change stuff so that stuff is different, everything still ends in that same ending, right? With the world where Christ comes back and people who don't accept him go to hell, and the ones that do go to heaven with him. That's the point where all those things still converge, right? I guess that makes sense. Oh, my brain hurts. Ever since they started talking about that we can't actually change time past 48 hours, like we can't time leap in the past 48 hours, past that, I can't say the words. My brain has just been kind of all over the place, like not understanding what's happening. So I'm trying to make sense of it, but man, this is so interesting and confusing and crazy. CERN already knows about us. That's clear from Moeka's attack.
Dad believed that the ultimate cause was the very first email you sent with your time machine.
Oh, okay. An email? It wasn't because they caught us hacking? Like I said, nobody can catch my hacking. Interesting, if that's true.
Which email are you talking about?
The one where we made the Gelbana thing happen, right?
I know. Wasn't it the email Okarin sent that said Chris-chan died?
Oh, right. Right? Right. The email I sent to Daru right after Dr. Nakabachi's conference.
Oh, that.
Back then, we hadn't yet realized that the phone wave name subject to change was a time machine.
CERN probably intercepted that email and realized what it meant.
They were already onto us back then? Wow, so Moeka's really just been against us this whole time. Come to think of it, the first time I met Moeka was the day after I sent that email. Oh my gosh. Yo. We really jumped in the deep end, huh?
Mayushi's good at the breaststroke.
Alright, then do a sexy underwater pose.
Dude, stop.
But how did they intercept our email? Hundreds of millions of emails are sent around the world each day.
CERN uses the Echelon network to connect communications pertaining to time travel research worldwide.
Echelon? It really exists? As an expert on conspiracies, I understand the implications, and they terrify me. No one else seems to get what Suzuha's saying, though.
Echelon sees everything. Any transmission that even hints at time travel is filtered and sent to CERN.
For example, an email that appeared to have come from the future.
We need to find the record of that email in CERN's database and delete it. If you do that, then CERN will never know you exist. Their time machine won't be completed in 2034. If we're lucky, the program may be shut down entirely.
Interesting, so we have to stop one D-mail, oh my gosh. In other words, deleting that data will take us to the attractor field where CERN doesn't build a time machine. So, but what if, I have a feeling that email that we send is going to be pertinent, we have to send it. It's important that we do, so, we're going to spend all this time trying to stop it, and then it's going to be oh, no, but if we don't, if we do stop it, then this happens, and all this stuff. Oh, no. There wasn't any data like that when we hacked CERN's database.
The IBN 5100.
Yup. Oh! Of course! CERN's IBN 5100 database!
That's probably where they store the data from Echelon.
So that's what it is! Dang it, Daru! Why didn't we use the IBN 5100 earlier? We never had one? Yeah, he doesn't know. What are you talking about? I got one, remember? Huh? Right. That was on a different world line. On this world line, I never found the IBN 5100, and it's probably because we let Moeka use the time leap machine. That's probably why.
My mission is to make sure you acquire an IBN 5100.
Oh. You have one? Suzuha shakes her head.
I'm going to 1975 to obtain one.
Oh, that's why she was going back. That's right. Yeah. I was trying to remember what was important about that date, because that's when they were around, right? Or is that when they were first made? I can't remember. But yeah, that makes sense. 1975. The year the IBN 5100 went to market. Yeah, okay, went to market. I know because John Titor in 2000 said that was his mission. Was that John Titor Suzuha too? Anyway, if Suzuha can get us an IBN 5100, then we can leave this attractor field and jump to a beta world line, where CERN never finds us, and their time machine is never completed. Mayuri won't have to die. Alright! We need to move fast. How soon can you leave, Suzuha?
I was trying to leave when you caught me, but...
Suzuha bows her head apologetically. I look at her burnt hand. She's hiding it from Mayuri and Daru, but I can see the blood staining my handkerchief. It hurts to look at. Maybe we should get her to a doctor. No, dude, stop. Don't be dumb. Right. Your time machine's broken.
Can you fix it? No. I just write it. My dad's the one who built it. I've memorized the manual, so I know how it works, but...
That doesn't mean she knows how to repair it. And there's no guarantee that a time machine from 2036 can be repaired with today's technology.
Maybe we can use the time leap machine to go back before Amane-san's time machine broke.
Well, only 48 hours according to you. Wait, you're going to use the time leap machine? Wasn't the plan not to experiment? I still haven't told Daru about my time leaping. There's no time to explain. We'll use it if the situation demands. Do you know when it broke, Suzuha?
No. But it was probably the rain a few days ago. It's supposed to be airtight, but the inside was all wet when I checked it today.
Oh no. Maybe it made a hole when you crashed into Radicon. Or CERN sabotaged it.
That wasn't a crash. The coordinates were slightly off, so it just appeared there.
Oh shoot. Yeah, like the jellyman in the wall, right?
It's not exactly the most stable time machine.
Anyone remember when it rained?
The morning of the 10th, just before dawn.
Oh shoot. The time leap machine can only cover 48 hours in a single leap. And the time leap machine was completed today, the 13th at 2 p.m. Oh, so can it only send so much data, like so far? Is that why? Is that what that means? Huh. That means we can't go farther back than 2 p.m. on the 11th, unless we give Kuretsu the ability, like we give her the knowledge of how to make the time leap machine on the 11th, and then we can just go back to the 9th, right? That would make sense. Dang! We can't get there with the time leap machine. I thought we had a glimmer of hope. I think we should try to fix it.
Yeah, it's a time machine, so we have plenty of time, right?
Kuretsu, Suzuha, and I say nothing. We know. In less than 2 hours, Mayuri will die. It's already 5:30. There's barely enough time to sneak into Radicon, let alone fix Suzuha's time machine. Maybe I should leap now to 2 p.m. on the 11th. Then we'll have 2 full days to fix the machine. You're all hungry, aren't you? You should be. What's this all of a sudden?
Mayushi's hungry.
As expected from a glutton. I take a 10,000 yen bill out of my wallet. Mayuri, Daru, I leave the shopping to you. We can come up with a plan while we eat.
Wow, Okarin. What are we going to do with all this money?
Buy food. Lots of food. Use it all. You just calmly hand over a 10,000 yen bill? Wow, Okarin. You make it look easy. That's why we love you. That's why we admire you.
Mayuri and Daru leave with in high spirits. I knew the 10,000 yen bill would work.
Christina. TITOR.
Titter? Is that me?
Who else?
Why are you calling me that now?
Because you're the one behind Titter's mask.
Well, yeah, but
Just give up. Okabe rarely calls anyone by their name.
oh yeah. He always calls me part-time warrior for some reason.
Listen, you two. I'm going to leap to 2 p.m. on the 11th. After Titter explains herself again, we'll start repairs on the time machine. Our goal is to have it working by this time today. Is that the best plan? It's better than trying to fix it when we only have 2 hours left. If it doesn't work, I'll just keep repeating the same 2 days.
I'm sorry.
Titter, we're counting on you to get us an IBN 5100. Never forget, I'm not doing this for you, and I'm not doing it for the future. My mission is to save Mayuri. Call me self-righteous if you want. However, I'm doing this my way. Kuretsu and Suzuha give an encouraging nod in agreement. Good. Then let's begin.
You're not going to name the operation?
Who cares about that? This isn't a game. Mayuri's life hangs in the balance.
You couldn't find a good Norse mythology themed name? Why Norse mythology? I don't think there's a deep meaning behind it. Chinibyo patients just love Germanic names for some reason. Now that you mention it, most of our operation names in the Resistance have Germanic names too. Whenever I ask, they say it's tradition.
Yo, Okabe leads the resistance, dude. Oh my gosh. I bet she doesn't know.
So there's still Chinibyo in 2036. Cut the chatter! Mayuri's life hangs in the balance. There's no time for this nonsense. Kuretsu sets up the time leap machine, while Suzuha goes to turn on the 42-inch CRT. Well before Mayuri returns, I leap.